Mr. President.
Senator from Idaho.
Mr. President, I ask unanimous consent to speak for 4 minutes as if in morning business.
Without objection.
Mr. President, fellow senators, I rise today to introduce a bill called the Idaho Wilderness Water Facilities Act. This is a bill that is identical to the House version, H.R. 876, which was introduced and carried through the House by my colleague from Idaho, Representative Mike Simpson, who did yeoman's work on pursuing this, on putting it together and shepherding it through. It passed unanimously in the House. I want to thank him on behalf of all Idahoans for his work on this issue. The need for this legislation is simple. The Frank Church River of No Return Wilderness Area, which was designated by Congress in 1980, abuts the Selway Bitterroot Wilderness Area, which was designated by Congress in 1964. These areas contain some of the largest and most rugged, remote tracts of land in the lower 48 states. It's magnificent. It is in beauty substantially better, in my opinion, than the Alps. There are a number of water diversions within the Idaho wilderness areas that have existed since the time of this legislation, since the time that these wilderness areas were established. Although the diversions continue to exist, the owners currently lack authority to maintain and repair the facilities. Predating the existence of these two wilderness areas, private landowners had received permits to maintain and repair water diversions that existed on the National Forest System lands. The water is used for a combination of many things, including but not limited to drinking water for private cabins and ranches, and also for generating electricity in some places on a very small scale. Many of the permits have since expired, leaving those who own the water diversions without any options for mechanically maintaining their water systems. In some cases, this lack of management threatens the environment and the watersheds in which they exist. The Idaho Wilderness Water Facilities Act would give the Secretary of Agriculture the authority to reissue and issue special use authorizations to the owners of these diversion facilities within the Frank Church and the Selway wilderness areas for the continued maintenance of their water facilities. The permits only would be issued if the owner could prove that the facility existed prior to those lands being designated as wilderness. The facilities had been used to deliver water to the owner's lands since the designation, and the owner had a valid water right, and it would not be practical to move the facility outside of the wilderness area. Undoubtedly, in exercising the discretion, the Secretary would ensure that it would in no way denigrate these wilderness areas. There are several different individuals or businesses that have water diversions that in these wilderness areas that meet the description that I have given. Earlier this week, the Senate Committee on Energy and Natural Resources held a hearing on H.R. 876. The United States Forest Service appeared at that hearing and testified in support of this bill. I look forward to working with Chairman Wyden and Ranking Member Murkowski to pass this bill quickly so as to allow for the maintenance of this water infrastructure. Thank you, Mr. President. I yield